Indian River Connections brings you the first source you can watch for truth on board decisions in Indian River County. The Board Report, where taxpayers and policymakers intersect. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform to get notified when we go live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Visit IndianRiverConnections.com for more.
Hey guys, welcome to the Board Report, August 7th. It's a weird intro for me. I don't know. There's something not right about it. We got to fix something about that. But anyways, welcome. Welcome back. Last week was a great episode with candidate Justin Story. If you've been watching week after week, we have been interviewing as many candidates as we could. If they'll come on, some of them just didn't respond to us or didn't respond to us in a nice way, I would say, not to like sugarcoat anything, but, which is a little disappointing because we've had Thomas Shalafo, Colonel Thomas Shalafo, then we've had Marcus Carter.
Yep, we've had Rance,
Pastor Steve Rance, and then Justin Story, and all of them have great backgrounds. Like Justin Story flying an F-18, and Colonel Thomas Shalafo, with his military career, and Steve Rance with his message, and I think
he was in the military too.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought like almost all of them have some kind of military background, but we can get into all that tonight. We had the Republican Club's forum, which we broadcast live, and so we have that pulled up from the Sunshine Journal, from the lightning round, which, it's just a small portion of what was said that night, but I believe it's kind of cool to see that go through, and we can even play their closing statements again. We're 2 weeks away, 2 shows away from the primary election. So we really weren't concerned with booking a candidate for tonight, but rather talk about the campaign cycle and the political atmosphere and the candidates going through all this. And
what we've learned about the candidates, and it's just been a nice ride. It would have been nice to have more candidates on so that everybody else could watch along, but it's been nice to have. I'm glad we had 7 candidates. It seems like a full round of candidates for a congressional district, but we've got 7 counties,
And one of them from here, local, not responded to any of our invites, so we didn't have him on. That's Dan Green, but we also didn't have Ben Butler. I think it was a timing thing. It wasn't, we didn't want to have these other people on, and George Martinez. So I think there's 3 candidates we didn't actually have on, but they all seem like really nice guys. It's just, you have to wonder why some of these people are actually doing this. Is it I'm not saying or accusing anybody of any ill intentions, but is it for the experience? Is it for a reason? Is somebody inflating their egos or whatnot? You trying to say hi? Come here. We have a special guest. Say hi, Riley. But and you have to hope that they're all doing this for the right reason, like the kids and stuff like that. And of course, they all say what they think you want to hear. And then sometimes they let it slip out and they don't. Careful.
Hi, sweetie.
All right.
Yeah, they do. So you got to figure, is this scripted? You got to try to ask those questions to make it so that they give up a little bit of themselves, so you can look into that person and see where they're really coming from. And I like it when they come on our show because that kind of happens.
Yeah. And that forum, I thought, I haven't been to many of these, but I thought that was kind of a cool way to do it with the lightning round. Of course, somebody wants to stand out at all times, but you will see that off the cuff answer more likely that during pressure, and then you can analyze whatever they say. But so besides all that, we do have bills to pay here. So we do have 3 political sponsors tonight. We wish we weren't all political, but we will take their money just as well of anybody else's. But tonight, our show is sponsored by Steve Rance for Congress, Jennifer Pippin for County Commissioner, and Jackie Rosario, District 2 School Board. So, and there's a whole thing we can get into about that too. But so after this first sponsor, we'll be back to dig into some of the latest news and candidate action. We'll be right back.
Hello, my friends. My name is Steve Rance. I'm a pastor, a veteran, and a fighter for Florida, and I'm a mega conservative. But that doesn't mean what a lot of people apparently think it means. I believe in common sense. I believe America should never depend on another country for energy, protection, or basic supply and demand. I believe America must put itself first. I believe America should stay out of endless foreign conflicts. I believe no foreign aid should be given until every veteran at home is taken care of. I believe immigrants make America stronger when they come here legally. I believe schools are for education, not indoctrination. I believe America is in a mental health crisis and it needs to be addressed. I believe guns aren't the problem, but people are. I'm a conservative because I believe in faith, family, freedom, and personal responsibility. I don't want to see a government that controls every aspect of our lives. I want a government that protects our rights, secures our borders, and defends our freedoms, and then moves out of the way. We are strongest when Americans take care of America first, when families are supported, when our veterans and first responders are honored and cared for, and when our children are given truth, not propaganda. My friends, I love this country, and I believe that Florida and the good old US of A is still worth fighting for. I'm asking you to stand with me in this fight, and I am asking you for your vote.
So yeah, there you have it. That was one of Steve Rance's political ads, and again, his advertisement on our channels is not an endorsement of Steve Rance. Although I have nothing negative to say about the guy, for IRC Media, this is purely advertising. So, having said that, Steve was at the forum this
Mhm.
past week, and I thought they all did pretty good. Steve kind of threw some comedy out there, which kind of lightened up the crowd. And, because there was, like you said, 7 candidates up there,
Mhm.
and the room was pretty full. I don't know how many
Yeah.
people. Was there a count on how many people showed up?
I never asked Thomas about it, but, that room holds quite a few people. It could probably hold 100 people easily.
Oh, I think so. I think he had 150 reservations. And I would I imagine I saw people standing in the very back that maybe more than that showed up. So I thought it was a great opportunity for all them to answer the questions and and
He asked some
whatnot.
pretty good questions. I was pretty happy with the questions that he was asking. I was like, "Oh, some of those are pretty tricky, controversial there."
Yeah. So was he? Excuse me. Did these come from members of the Republican Club? I'm not sure how all these clubs work. I'm kind of new to the inside scene. Usually talk about it from the outside. So
Yeah, I think what
these
they do is they ask members to, ask questions, and then they also build questions of their own, So they compile it all together. Because sometimes you can get questions from the club members, but you're really not covering some of those topics that are, more congressional. They're more local to home. So that's how we got that mixture of, federal congressional topics and, home topics.
Well, they're all from here, so you know me. I ask them about Amendment 3 on the Florida ballot, and they're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
that's," some people are like, "Well, that's a state issue." I don't care. These guys live in the state. They're voting
I
in
know,
November
they have
on the same things I'm
to.
voting for, and that tells me who they are.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it's a state thing. These guys live in the same
If you're
state
a
as you
Florida
do.
voter too, you're
Right.
voting
Yeah. So it's like, all right, like right off the bat, if you're not with me, I'm not with you. So. But I haven't talked to anybody running for office not to get into Amendment 3, but I haven't talked to anybody running for office on our side that was against Amendment 3. Of course, running for office, of course, they all want to say they're going to cut your taxes. So hopefully they follow through, though. There was a ruling the other day about the language. I'm not sure how that ended up, but hopefully it's all squared away because I believe, well, that's not until November. So they have time, I guess, until
Mhm.
those ballots are printed or issued, whatever. But
Well, the discussion will keep going forward, until
yeah,
November. But it kills me that they're acting like they're going to lose so much tax money, and really the housing market has gone up exponentially. So we've got all that extra tax money, and it's just a homestead exemption.
listen, the culprit is TC Palm, WPTV. I think there's another one out of West Palm. They're pushing this whole narrative. Everything they post tax related is that, this so and so is afraid their jobs are getting cut. The fire department over in this county, and this county says they're going to lose $60 million, and this and that. And they even lied about this county a week after the city manager or whatever released a report saying they could cut up to $91 million without
Mhm.
affecting essential services. So then the next week, TC Palm publishes some misleading headline contradicting what actually took place. And we know that because friend of the show and running for county commissioner was the
Jen.
only person who stayed for that whole meeting. So
Yeah,
she had the receipts. She was there in person. Not that you can't go back and watch it,
that's
but
right.
the TC and here's the biggest. I guess here's the bigger picture. I know I'm rambling and ranting. The media drives that narrative. So anything in our local media, which you can consider TC Palm, WPTV, South Florida stuff, out of West Palm, is all anti Jennifer Pippin, anti Jackie Rosario. I haven't seen much other anti stuff except for a couple of candidates out of Port St. Lucie County. They did one or two hit pieces about someone in Martin County, I believe, but I got to the point where I kept snoozing them because I got sick of seeing the lies. And apparently they released an article yesterday or today claiming that the voters already decided that Tom Lang, candidate for school board district 2, already won and beat Jackie. And the election's not for 11 days.
I
So
know.
they quickly took that down, but not before 100,000 people can screenshot it. They took that down, and then they issued a statement saying, "Oh, a staff journalist, instead of hit save for the article, they hit publish, and it's common practice to have an article ready for either outcome." And yeah, it was a lot of nonsense, especially if you pay attention to Thomas's article from the Sunshine Journal. He did an excellent piece highlighting the bias coming from TC Palm. I guess the guy's some holdover from when it was an independent or something like that, but now they're part of a bigger conglomerate, and he's like violating all of their moral codes as journalists with the type of stuff he's publishing. So go to the Sunshine Journal on Substack, and you can find more of that stuff. And that's where you can actually find the broadcast from the forum also. I think it was, I forget how long it is. Let me look.
Thomas has been doing a really good job at covering some of these local issues, you know?
Yeah, it was an hour and 45 minutes. And here I've got,
That was for the forum, right?
yeah, do you want to start with their lightning round?
Yeah, let's start with the lightning
Okay.
round. I thought that was a good round.
Let me make sure. Hopefully the audio works because it's been a while since I did this.
Knock on all the doors, but that's what you do have to do. You have to build teams of volunteers from within the community. We have to get citizen-driven efforts to realize what of, by, and for the
Right
people
after
means,
this is
and we
when
have to go out and do the
Thomas
work and
brings
engage
it
with the
in.
public to build something new from the ground up. That's exactly what I've done. That's why we've knocked on 30,000 doors in the past 18 months, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to offer this district the chance to follow a grassroots.
Those are really good questions about themselves. Give them a round of applause. This is our last round coming up. Before I say that, remember, on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook pages, IRC Media.
That's us.
You go to those pages, IRC Media. You can rewatch this, share it with your friends, and do all those things, okay? So this is the lightning round.
I don't know
it's
what
a
that
yes,
was.
no, or maybe.
It would be
Please, no
clapping.
pontificating. And
Some noise
we're going to
cancellation.
start down with Steve Rance, and we're just going to pass the mic down as we do this. How about that? Okay? Would you vote for term limits for staff?
Yes.
Yes.
Staff.
No.
Maybe. Depends. Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm a maybe on that as well.
Depends.
Excellent.
Okay, so how do you feel term limits on staff?
I think it's a good idea on staff because remember, staff is there forever and ever and ever. And like McConnell, his staff is pretty much running it for him. He could be in a coma and his office would still be, and he would still be making decisions as far as we know.
Right? Well, they are. Well, they were, I think, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying
So
to
staff
snag a
is just as
file.
dangerous as a bad congressman.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because there are careers that could be made in government on Capitol Hill, but at the same time, you don't want these people to become bigger than the job and then be an anchor point for lobbyists and stuff like that or corruption. Um,
Uh,
it. I'm not so sure I would limit them to the same amount I would limit a congressman.
Yeah, but part of I get what you're saying, but part of the swamp is the people that are in
Well,
there
for sure, the
because they
actual
end up lying and
bureaucracy.
cheating,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah,
got their
but where do
hands.
you stop that though? Like, do you stop that just at congressional staffers, or does that go for staff administration of the EPA and DHS, or
I would say for
actual?
the highest people in administration that have access to a lot of information, that's a great stepping stone for people to be able to put on their resume, give them 10 years max, get like a 10-year contract and then rotate it, then in the last year, 2 years, have mentor somebody to train them or, because you have
Or just
interns
go
that
for
want to
another
go in.
job, or just go
Yeah.
for another job.
Yeah, because there's people that don't have access to the security stuff that their immediate staffers have that are underneath them. I think those should be rotated out because the
So,
swamp
okay, so
is
so if we were going to make the decision, Joanne and Mike, right now, that term limits for congressmen, how many years would you think? How many terms?
for a congressman. I would say probably 12 years.
So 3 4 year terms.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt. What would you say for just staffers of the congressman? Because I believe
Uh,
that's what the question was related to, was
I
their
would,
actual
yeah, I would
staffers.
say for staffers, I would say like 10 years.
Less than the actual congressman's term.
Yeah, because it gives the new staffer 2 years to come in and get their feet wet before the congressman's out
Yeah,
if he does not get elected,
that's one way of looking
if
at
he
it.
terms out and they're ready for the new guy.
My camera froze up. I told you I was going to do that.
Yeah, I
Hold
noticed.
on, let me,
Well, at least you didn't freeze up with your mouth open.
right. Let me change. I'm still here audio wise, but
Yeah, but I think it would be cool, it would be beneficial if, you know, the transition would happen. So you've got a congressman's got 12 years and then his staffer has 10 years and he gets a new staffer 2 years before his last 2 years in office. So that new staffer will be ready for the newest congressman to come in. So it can help that congressman to get up to speed on some things. Administratively, because I'm sure they're involved in all aspects of that. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, my new webcam does not like me. Let's see here. Nope.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll fix this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
You got a different camera on you now.
Well, that's my actual laptop webcam, which is not very good. But this thing is giving me hard enough time. I don't want to mess with it. But so yeah, I kind of would agree with that. See, I kind of felt like maybe the staffers should get a couple extra years, but I guess if we're talking in the same position, we would be talking about like standardizing the positions, like chief of staffs and aides or stuff like that. I guess so, especially since they got intern time there too. So who knows? Let me see if this is working now.
Yeah, and then you just come up with the idea at first, like everybody comes up with term limits, but then you have to look at it and evaluate it and get a group of people to talk about it. Okay, what are the pros and cons? What are the faults in that idea? I mean, the initial idea for term limits is great, but then you've got to sit down and look over the proposal and see where you have the good things and the bad things, and then it just doesn't stop there saying I want term limits, because it could be a constitutional thing. Who knows? Once we look deeper into it, kind of like not having PACs or not taking a certain amount of money, they can argue that if somebody has the right to donate to whoever they want, but do they have a right to hide who they are, or PACs? But PACs get to put in so much money, compared to you and I, we're not allowed to put in that much money.
No, and I don't think that's right either, because they're actually there for a special interest. They're donating for their cause. So of course they're expecting a favor back. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me either.
I know there's like a lot of things like lobbyists and stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next question. Maybe.
Well, I'll go back the other direction now.
Here we go. The wave.
Do you support amnesty for illegal immigrants?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. No.
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 Hell no.
I'm going to swear a preacher up here.
God forgive me.
Pastor
He still
Swear.
loves you, right?
All he said was hell.
Do you
It's not really
support
fair.
President Trump?
I don't think we need to elaborate on that question. I think we're all on the same page with Pastor Steve Rance there.
Approach to tariff policies?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Mostly yes.
Maybe.
We got a maybe in there.
This was in relation to the president's approach to tariffs. I'm interested as to why these two were maybes, right? Let me see.
Yeah, and depends. I think it was
Right.
depends from Carter and maybe from Story.
Let's see here. Substack, their player is a little touchy.
Hell no.
Oh,
I'm going to swear a preacher up here.
God forgive me.
He still loves you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you support President Trump's approach to tariff policies?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Mostly yes.
Mostly yes.
Maybe.
Mostly yes.
Always, we
yes.
thank you for the freedom of speech and the
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you went too far forward.
Yeah,
That was just before the pledge.
so we got to go.
You know where I was thinking what would have been a great setup was to put the podium in between the guys and V them out You know, 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, and 1 in the middle,
Yeah.
and the podium right behind them.
Let me see if we're close to this timestamp here.
Yeah, I'm a maybe on that as well.
Oh, no, let's go back just a
Excellent.
Ground up. That's exactly what I've done.
Maybe.
We're going to start down with Steve Rance, and we're just going to pass the mic down as we do this. How about that?
Maybe. Depends. Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
I screwed all that up.
Yeah, I'm a maybe on that as well.
What was, yeah, we didn't hear the question on that.
Excellent.
Well, I'll go.
Let me go
this way.
back the other direction now.
Here we go. The wave.
Do you support amnesty for illegal
Oh,
immigrants?
that was the first question.
No.
Yeah.
No.
About staffers.
Absolutely not.
No.
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 Hell no.
Come on. Got a swearing preacher up here.
God forgive me.
He still loves you, right?
George was trying to call him out.
Do you
That's the
support
competition on
President
it.
Trump's approach to tariff policies?
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
we got to listen to this again, but it's so
I
touchy.
know.
Yes.
I don't want to mess with it.
It's hard to stop
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Mostly yes.
Mostly yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We got a maybe in there. Do you support mandatory vaccines, including those for public school children?
No.
That's
No.
definitely a no.
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 No. Only to Democrat parents. No. Sorry, folks.
Comedy is not pretty. Would you support a nationwide ban on Sharia law?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Did it overseas, we can do it here. Yes.
Yes.
As the
Interesting.
millennials would say, ops.
So, you can't hear the crowd, but in this time frame, the crowd was pretty vocal. There, you can hear it
Yeah,
a
they
little
were.
bit, but some of the noise cancellation is taking it out. So, this one definitely had some people clapping. You know,
Yeah.
Ops, obviously, yes.
Do you support additional military aid to Ukraine right now?
No.
This is an important one.
No.
Yes, we need to defeat Russia.
No. Where are you going to get the money?
Yes.
so
Yes.
Maybe.
this one was concerning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
why? Like,
Yes,
so
we
this
need
was
to defeat Russia.
right.
That's not a good answer.
We're not in a war with Russia.
No.
You know, and I don't think we actually should be. We're actually in a war with Iran right now,
Mm-hmm.
and if you would believe every politician, half of these guys would tell you we're in a war with China too, and maybe we are in a different caliber, but I don't think we need to worry about funding Ukraine because Russia is still a threat to us. Like that, we shouldn't be looking to fester that threat anyways.
Yeah, and Ukraine's not in NATO. They're not a
Right.
NATO nation.
Right.
So
So unfortunately, this one didn't have any follow-ups, but depending on who wins on October or August 18th, you know, they could be pressed on this subject too.
oh yeah, more money could be going to Ukraine. We could have a voter that's supporting Ukraine, spending billions of dollars in Ukraine.
Man, my camera's froze up again.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's ludicrous.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that answer. Just military industrial complex is how it felt.
Yeah. I think my app that controls this thing is what's freezing up on me.
Hey, you look surprised there. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yo, it's Mike.
Put on my face cam again. Sorry. That's aggravating. But yeah, so Ukraine, why are we even talking about Ukraine
Yeah.
and funding it? Yeah. This webcam doesn't get used. So let's play some more.
It's a little longer. SNAP food stamps exist to provide assistance to families without means to purchase adequate amounts of nutritious food. According to the USDA, 11% of SNAP goes to sweetened drinks and candy, with an estimated $8.9 billion annually to soft drinks alone, which supports prohibiting soft drink purchases with SNAP benefits.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Would you support prohibiting soft drink purchases with SNAP benefits?
Sorry, I was waiting for the end. I didn't catch it, but yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's supplemental nutritional program, and it's not nutritional.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, along with many other foods.
Yes.
And this is the last one I'm throwing in based on the news of the day. Should Dr. Fauci lose his pardon and be tried and prosecuted after today's hearing?
Absolutely.
Sorry, I said yes.
I also say yes, he was pardoned before he was charged, so I don't see why we can't charge him now, because how do you pre-pardon somebody in the first place?
Yes.
With an auto pen.
Yes.
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 I take the fifth. Yes. Get rid of that guy and try.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, on that front, I believe it was our Attorney General James Uthmeyer actually issued subpoenas for Fauci here in the state of Florida. So, he can plead all the fifth all he wants. The Congress, even though he might be covered under a pardon, which that's speculative right at this point with the auto pen, and a blanket pardon at that. The beauty of this is Congress right now is just doing nothing but collecting evidence, and they're going to turn it over to Florida. So he can be tried in the states, even though he's got a federal pardon, but there's question about that too. I don't know. Where do you stand on that?
Well, if he could be tried, I was going to ask you about that. If he could be tried by this, can he be tried by each and every state separately?
I don't know. This dang camera.
But I think the guy is a criminal.
Well, for sure. When we
You
look
know?
at the evidence from his diary to his, what he said publicly at first, then what he denied afterwards and changed his story, and then his testimony other times in front of Congress. The guy definitely lied. He was in on all this. What is it called? I don't know who's here.
Well, I mean, he benefited from every crooked thing he did over that COVID-19, the politics. He got federal grants for research funding, pharmaceuticals that he made money off of. He even got awards during that time, book deals.
And that's just it. He did make money. He was the highest paid person in government for 20 years. The highest paid person on the federal payroll was Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci. Meanwhile, he shut down churches, he shut down graduations, he shut down daycares, he shut down hospice centers. People couldn't see their dying relatives. And, but at what point, the guy's 80 something himself. So what's a suitable judgment? What's a suitable punishment for somebody like Fauci?
Hey, look, they wanted to put Trump in jail in his 80s. And Trump didn't even commit any real crime. So if you do the crime, do the time. If they can prove that he has he's guilty of all this stuff, he should be doing his time. And it's not like they're going to put him in he's going to be like in one of those upper class prisons. They're not going to put him in prison like in Rikers Island or anything like that. So let him
Yeah.
spend the rest of his years having his grandchildren visit him and know uh, the crooked man that he is. Because what's the justice for all those lives that he affected?
Somebody
If they
had said
find him,
today in conversation that he's probably going to be in the same place El Chapo is and Maduro is and uh, all those other leaders that have been locked up for one reason or another,
mhm.
at the country club. They're on
Yeah.
lockdown at the country club. So, all right, let's get off of this. They did go through closing, uh, some closing speeches. I recommend you go back. I think each one got a minute or something like that. We don't have to go through all that, and we don't have to be on here all night either. But when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other stuff and local news. So we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pippin, and I'm running for Indian River County Commission District 2. As a wife, mother, and longtime community advocate, I've spent years standing up for taxpayers, families, and government accountability. I'm running to protect our quality of life, support law enforcement, manage growth responsibly, and ensure your tax dollars are spent wisely. To learn more, request a yard sign, volunteer, or get involved, visit votejenniferpippin.com. Together, we can keep Indian River County the best place to live, work, and raise a family. I'm looking forward to earning your vote on August 18th.
I'm Dr. Jackie Rosario. I'm a mom and educator, and I'm honored to serve as your school board member for District 2. In 2022, I was endorsed by Governor Ron DeSantis as the common sense conservative voice on the school board, protecting parental rights, holding bureaucrats accountable, ensuring local control, school choice, and academic excellence for all students. As an experienced, qualified leader with proven results, I'll continue fighting for safe schools, academic excellence, and opportunities that prepare every student for college, careers in technical, vocational areas, military service, and life. Your voice matters and your vote counts. On August 18th, re-elect me, Dr. Jackie Rosario, to remain your school board member for District 2. Let's continue to reach and teach every child, every day, in every way. Visit reelectjackie.com for more information.
Yeah, so there was our other two sponsors for the show tonight, and that was Jennifer Pippin, County
Mhm.
Commissioner, and Jackie Rosario, Dr. Jackie Rosario, for re-election on her school board seat, which is her last term. And she's been a great school board member. I don't understand the hate towards Jackie Rosario. Maybe it was her affiliation with some other organizations, but that kind of just get bad rap by association. But she's been a true conservative and a true advocate for parents, teachers, and students. She's a proponent of the superintendent and the job he's doing. So I think she's been an asset. In every election season, they put somebody up against her. They try to paint as another conservative or something like that, or somebody with more experience. And again, the Sunshine Journal outlines Jackie's experience compared to her opponents, and she just blows it out of the water.
She
You
really
know,
does.
she got multiple
She,
master's degree, a doctorate in
mhm.
educational law. She's worked in every position in the school besides principal, and it's just and they want to paint her as inexperienced. I don't
I know.
understand that. And they're going to run some former. I don't know. I don't know of his record, but I mean he. Not that it matters. Even a parent with no teaching or school experience can run, but to paint her as inexperienced when you're running a former third grade English teacher or something like that against her, um, it
Yeah,
just
no,
doesn't
she's
make
very
sense.
experienced and she's a outside the box thinker.
And she was big on that classical school system that got pushed through very quick because of her. And Kevin McDonald, former school board member here in New York, who pushed for that. But you know, It's just a no-brainer. But every season, they run somebody against her. You see the amount of money poured into these elections, and you just have to wonder why. Same with the county commission. There'll probably be probably close to $250,000 spent in that election. We can dig through the numbers and talk about it next week. But just in the primary season, the amount of money spent in these or donated into these campaigns is sickening. And then you just see the problems up and down the road when you drive through your community. And it's just like, uh, you know, it shouldn't cost that much. Like Marcus Carter, running for Congress, he outlined how much money is being spent on that race. And
Mhm.
again, it's you shouldn't need you
Mhm.
shouldn't need that much money to run for a public office. And
Well,
like, and I've talked about the school board and county commissioner, that doesn't pay nothing to put yourself out there for uh 6 months to a
criticism.
year of campaigning for a job you might not even get, to only make $40,000 or $43,000 a year for a part-time job, but you're supposed to care about it, which you should. But if you don't pay somebody worth their time to put that effort and heart into it, you're going to get people who don't need the money, who have different interests, because that's chump change to them anyways. So,
Well,
and
we
that's
we
what we
already
see
see
on the
that a
board.
lot of people that do run for office are retired. You don't see young people running for office too often because they're out trying to make a living. And it takes time to run for office because you gotta sit in those school board meetings that are hours long. We've tried to break them down on the show because they're so long, people can't sit through all of them.
And that's why we kind of did what we did with the board report. And I remember, I think we were sitting at CAPS and with some of our contributors, and we're just like, let's do that. And we'll just
Mhm.
recap the meetings going on. So thank God we do what we do. Um, if you want to help us out, we'll take advertising and we have other ways of you can contribute to what we do. But besides that, we covered through all that. And then we're
Yeah,
talking
well,
about the Jackie campaign, the Jennifer Pippin campaign. My father asked me today, and he doesn't pay attention to this political hemisphere more than the other one, but he's like, "Why does everybody come after Jennifer Pippin?" And I was just like, "Because she's an easy target. She sticks her neck out there and she calls a spade, when she sees it." And she was out there and she got the books taken out of the school libraries. She was fighting with Moms for Liberty, well, fighting with the school districts and the state level with Moms for Liberty, and
mhm.
that brandished her a target for these kinds of people. And now,
Well, and
she's not
that's
even with them, and she's still associated with that. And then, of course, they always bring up her nursing license. And again, the Sunshine Journal on Substack's got a great article.
cleared it up, yeah.
Yeah, that made like, if
Mhm.
you can't understand that, and if that doesn't make you go to the Sunshine Journal for your news rather than TC Palm, I don't know what does, because it's clear, factual reporting. And you know, I understand she had her stuff sealed because identity theft at that time, it was rampant through the medical field. And not just that, the amount of people who went after her after speaking at the school board meetings, threatened her family, stalking, and
Mhm.
all that. I'm
Harassment, it's
I
just unbelievable.
and she still wants to run for county commission and serve her community. And
Because she cares, and it's obvious that there's
yeah.
a corrupt agenda out there. The DSP, which is the Democratic Socialist Party, is infiltrating people, and they really run on the negative part of things. You can't tell me that if you picked up one of those books that Jennifer was bringing to the school board meeting and you couldn't sit down with your 7-year-old or 10-year-old daughter and read a graphic page out of that book, yet you would put it in the school for kids to check out in a library. I didn't understand the arguments at first, and I was like, it's all part of the socialist agenda to dumb down, to play the devil's advocate and stir things up, because who's out there protesting against America? It's not the conservative party, it's not people that love America. It's these people that have an agenda to tear us down, to demoralize us. And that's what we're doing. We are demoralizing the kids, trying to expose them to things so that they are desensitized by it, and which makes them also better victims for trafficking.
Yeah. I saw another quote. I always forget it, but I saw it again today, and I think it might have even been in the comments section of one of TC Bomb's articles, and it was a lie doesn't care who told it. And pretty much it means once it's out there, it doesn't matter who said it, if it was wrong or not. People hear that and they'll always
And they
associate
spread
that.
it.
Right. And then, so when you have somebody like Jennifer Pippin going up against people who are doing drag queen story time, and they brings that whole genre of people into that battlefield, she just takes the hits and keeps on rolling with them. And she's out there. Like, not many of them can actually tell you she's a bad person and she's lying about what she wants to do.
Yeah, no,
There's not a bad intention in her bone, and that's not because she pays us, but she's been with us from the beginning and supported our show. So,
and she's done it very gracefully. Like, she hasn't gone up there. She always compliments the school district or anybody on the good deeds that they've done, but she's very factual. She reads the statutes, and she picked out, even when we were going through that battle with the book, she picked out the pages and said, "Here, it's coming right out of the book. Read it from the book." It wasn't like she was making it up or she wasn't being transparent, because you had the material there to see the proof. Proof's in the pudding there. And for people on the other side of the aisle to not even look at that book and then fight against it, it's all about grooming the kids.
so that was about 4 years ago,
Yeah.
because
And
that's when I met you and John
Mhm.
Karapi at a school board meeting. You were running for county commissioner, and that was around the time they were reading books at these school board meetings, getting shut down. And finally, it was strategic to get these things out of the library. So thank God for people like Jennifer Pippin. I hope she wins. Her opponents on the right are Bob McPartland. Um, is it Robbie Robinson, or is the other guy Robinson? I'm not sure. And then
Or Brooks. Is it Brooks?
Brooks
I think
Robinson, or is it
Brooks,
last name
yeah,
Brooks?
I think it's Brooks Robinson or Robinson Brooks, something
Okay.
like that.
And then is that the only two conservatives? And then there's the guy on the other side,
Yeah.
Hardingham,
Yeah, I
something like
haven't
that.
even looked at his name, but yeah, I've Bob McPartland, he's just been in service for so long that he is a politician that looks at us like we are a bankroll, you
He's
know.
part of the socialist machine. He
Mhm.
thinks that, the government should handle your money first.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
And
It's just crazy the amount of people who are opposing the property tax for homestead exemptions. We keep coming back to that. I don't even own property. I don't even claim a homestead exemption, and I don't think it goes far enough, obviously, but still, these
it's a
counties don't
start.
deserve your money. Yeah.
And it's gonna help a lot of middle class people, and it's only on the taxes you pay on your house. It's not like they're giving you $150,000, or, they're it's cutting back the taxes that you pay on your home is what it's doing. And if you happen to have a house that's $150,000, you won't, and your tax exemption kicks in, you won't have to pay those taxes. But it's only gonna be like, on a $150,000 home, your taxes are probably around 2,000 a year, 3,000 a year, maybe 3,000 if I'm calling it high. But really, that's not a lot per family. Actually, it's better to give that back to the family than for the county to spend it somewhere else where they don't need to spend it. They can do cutbacks because, next year they're going to be pushing for $4 million for the nonprofits that they want to support. And some of those nonprofits have like 3 or 4 or 5 programs that they support. And it's like, come on, man. Now we're,
Their name is in the file multiple times.
yeah, it's like, come on. Like, why don't we be, if you were, I'm against spending my taxes on nonprofits, because philanthropy should be your choice, not the city's choice. And it's like, okay, so if you're going to have some programs, or if you want to give some grants out, cap it. that's what most businesses do. They say, we're going to cap it at $20,000 and we're going to split it up into 5 grants and people can apply for those. But this is like, if you listen to my video on Bob McPartland, he's like, and you can go up to $250,000. So let's keep going up. But at the same time, he says in the video, he says, we're always going to have these problems. And no matter how much money you put it, it's always going to be there and it's not going to fix it. And I'm like, okay, so why are we spending so much money on it?
Right. All right. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'm not sure of any events this week, but we'll be back next week with some more commentary on the ongoing election and stuff like that. Stay tuned for. Well, I think we've got a pretty busy week. Wednesday, we're going to do a To the Point podcast, I believe, on Wednesday. On Thursday, you can catch us at Filthy's Live doing the Conspiracy Club. And then hopefully I get set up and we can do another board report on Friday night. That will be the last one before the August 18th primary. And we'll try to keep you updated. In the meantime, make sure Binford Chronicles, you're going live on Thursday too, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I couldn't get my mic to work on live. So I worked on a recording last night. So I'll probably push that out tonight.
Awesome. So, yep, stay tuned. Go to ircmedia.net. You can find some of our news there. You can find our merch there for the Conspiracy Club and America's Commemorative 250 shirt. You can also find links to our political sponsors tonight, like Steve Rance, Jennifer Pippin, and Jackie Rosario. There's other podcasts on there too that aren't on board with us but affiliated with us, like the Conservative Blitz podcast, Two Guys One Coup, which I'm not sure if it's still named that. They had a little restructuring. Jim left the show, and now it's Dale doing the show with Maureen from America's First Newsroom, I believe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but a little different shake up there at Two Guys One Coup, but still friends of ours, and we love the show. And well wishes to Jim. Maybe he's taking some personal time because God knows this can sometimes get a little consuming, especially political time. So you got anything else you want to share before I hit the outro, Joanne?
No, just check us out every Friday. Tuesday is To the Point podcast.
Tuesday is TGI Now.
TGI Now.
Wednesday, To the Point. Thursday, Binford Chronicles.
Right.
And then the second Thursday of the month will be Conspiracy Club. And then Board Report on Fridays.
Yeah. And then I would just like to say, everybody look at the Board of County Commissioner meeting from August 4th, because they're talking about a trust. And it's in regards to surplus county-owned land. So it's a very interesting meeting. So go over there and watch that. We need to have some discussion on that in the future and figure out what it's all about.
Yeah, we got to start holding these elected officials accountable with our tax dollars, especially now, because we do enjoy what we have, and we don't want to give them a reason to use that as an excuse. Cancel the street fair for all I give a damn. If the city's paying for it, they should have it sponsored by the businesses that are benefiting it. So I do away with some stuff, but make sure you hold these guys accountable across the state, and no matter what state you're in. These people, they get elected for a term, but if they're not responsible with your money, it's your right to go to these meetings and speak up and expose what you can and try to get these other YouTubers or creators out there that do these constitutional audits and stuff like that. So definitely be involved. If you're not involved, a lot of stuff gets under the radar. So
yeah, but early voting starts this week. So
tomorrow, I believe. I just saw Jennifer Pippin posted on X tomorrow, and then
August 18th is
11 days until the 18th. Yeah. So
yeah.
All right.
Let's get out the votes.
Yep. You guys have a good night. Joanne, we'll see you in a couple days.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Good night.